Am I the idiot for telling my dad's girlfriend the truth about why I have limited contact with them? I'm number 2 of 4 sisters. I had a good childhood in terms of having good food to eat, nice clothes, education, etc. I didn't have a good childhood in terms of a loving environment. My dad screamed at mom all the time, called her names, compared us to other kids. These are just a couple of things, there's a lot more. And of course he was always right, he could never be wrong. He did a lot of charity and helped other people, so mom would always say what a good guy he is and we should be grateful for him. Me and my sisters also managed to ignore everything when we were younger and didn't know better. A few years ago there was a situation, I don't know how else to put it, with my older sister that finally made mom take off her rose-colored glasses and she filed for divorce. I have limited contact with him now. He has a new girlfriend who he's been with for about a year. I've met her once and she did seem nice, but I just don't want much to do with him. Not that long ago his girlfriend DM'd me asking if I'd like to meet up with her for coffee and she wanted to talk to me. So I said okay, and we had lunch a few days ago. She asked me why I'm so distant from dad and if it's something she did, or if she made us feel uncomfortable, and she would like to get to know us and clear the air. I said it's not anything like that and not to do with her. I eventually told her about what type of dad he was, how he treated my mom, all that. She seemed sort of shocked at first and I think she thought I was exaggerating. I didn't really know what to say, so I just replied this is what he was like with us, and this is why I limit contact. She obviously talked to dad about this and he called me, asking why I said that to his girlfriend. I replied she asked for the truth, so I told her the truth, but he said he's upset I tried to make him look bad, and I'm one-sided. I wouldn't care what he thinks, but my younger sister thinks I shouldn't have told her all of that and just let them be, so. Comment 1. NTA. I'm guessing your dad led her to believe it was her fault why y'all didn't go around. So I don't blame her for being concerned and asking for the truth, which you gave her. When she confronted your dad, he again wants to spread the fault instead of accepting it. Granted, there's always 2 sides to every marriage, but he's not accepting or owning up to his side. Comment 2. Well yes, there's that, but what else has he got his GF believing is her fault? How does he even speak to her when the doors are closed? The dude is clearly mentally abusive, so it's not a push to believe that he's also verbally abusive as well. Even though the GF has asked OP about this one thing, it wouldn't be surprising if other abusive tendencies are starting to show through. Now for the next story. Am I the idiot for calling my GF a hypocrite and saying I can have a relationship with her dad if I want to? Me and my GF Corey, both 27, have been together 5 years. I've known her family for a long time and have formed a good relationship with her dad. We both golf and watch sports together. I consider him a friend. Like 3 years ago, it comes out, third party, that Corey's mom was having an affair. Her dad moved out and her mom went nuts. I was stayed out of it, but I refused to accompany Corey to her mom's house. I don't fuck with cheaters and let her go alone unless it is a big holiday or important event at her mom's. This whole time Corey was pushing her dad to reconcile with her mom. She begged him to try counseling and talked about forgiveness. It what happened, but Corey's dad eventually gave in and went to counseling. They reconciled 2 years ago. Then it became this weird situation where Corey's mom seemed to enjoy brining up her affair. She would post on social media how forgiveness and the church brought them back together, constantly talking about power of prayer. As man, I could see her dad hated it. He was only sticking around for the sake of the family. In February this year Corey's dad left in the middle of the night. According to Corey's mom, her dad told me he left a note. He moved in with a woman he had been seeing. They are now divorced and Corey's dad is living with this woman. I've maintained my friendship with him. I told him I can't really blame him as he was in a no-win situation. Corey on the other hand has been a nightmare. She's blocked her dad, bashes him to friends and family, gets mad at me for carrying on a relationship with him. She also goes to her mom's house regularly to comfort her mom. None of this she did to her mom whenever she cheated years ago. Instead saying that they worked past that together. Last night, I called her a hypocrite in front of her brother, saying that she never blamed her mom, instead preached forgiveness. Never cut her mom off and never forced me to stop talking to her dad. She never went over to her dad's rental alone to comfort him. Only push him to reconcile. She then demanded I stop talking to her dad. I said I'm an adult who doesn't let others dictate their relationships. That me and her dad do not discuss her in any form. We talk baseball. So no, I wouldn't stop because she wants to be a hypocrite and not hold her mom accountable for what happened. I recommended therapy for her but was called in. For this. I don't think I need to apologize as calling her a hypocrite is accurate. Comment 1. I would agree, except for the fact that his wife did it first and expected everything to go back to normal. The situation described by OP is bordering on emotional abuse, and it's definitely lacking regard for husband's mental health. Everyone ignored it and played it off and talked about how, essentially, forgiveness erases everything bad that happened. That, essentially, means his wife didn't ever truly apologize. She seems like a very manipulative person, and their relationship was not going to last. I can criticize the timing of husband, probably should have gotten a divorce first, but all bets are off when you cheat on your husband. You can't expect them to forgive you, and you certainly can't expect better behavior from them. Doesn't make the behavior right, but given the circumstances, it makes OP's decision not to cut the dad off very understandable. If I were OP, I would have broken up with GF a good while ago. The gaslighting is intense. Comment 2. Yes, and no. He was out off the marriage. He was gaslight and manipulated to get back. He went then suffered more emotional abuse and humiliation from legal wife. Being his legal wife doesn't mean he was still emotionally and physically invested in the marriage. We don't know at what point this other woman entered into the picture, but her mom was out way before. She just wanted the legal to stay that way for her reasons. Narcissist, financial, prestige, religious, whatever, but she was out. So basically it was not cheating. Now for the next story. Am I the idiot for not asking my girlfriend's father for permission to marry her? So I feel like the normal situation I read about is the opposite situation, but I personally feel I am in the right here. I, 30M, been dating my girlfriend, 29F, for 4 years now, and things have all in all been pretty good. We both don't see eye to eye politically on many things with her father, but still visit him and her mother fairly frequently around holidays. And he is friendly enough to know to not bring up politics around the both of us because we don't agree, but I digress. I've talked about proposing to my girlfriend over the past couple months and about what she wants, etc., and she mentioned she wanted me to ask her dad for permission. I was kind of taken aback by this. Isn't a normal thing my girlfriend would say. So I asked why. She said because it's something she would like me to do. Her sister's husband did it, and some wedding funding from him would likely be contingent on me doing this. I came back with that I wouldn't be asking another person for permission to marry her. It's an extremely outdated tradition for one, and I'm a 30-year-old person. I can do what I want to do with someone I love. I don't need anyone else's permission. She got mad and said I just needed to do it, because it's a small thing to ask for, and she wants some of the money to have a few more things at our wedding that we won't be able to afford without it. I'm continuing to stand my ground about not asking for this. Comment 1. I'm honestly going with, nah. I completely understand your side, and logically it doesn't make sense to ask for permission. However, not everything about relationships is logical. Especially with religious/conservative parents. I grew up in a religious family, so I can understand where she might be coming from, but it may be a way for her to feel like you are being fully welcomed in the family. It's a verbal approval from her father that he is okay with you marrying her, and honestly parental approval is always craved, especially in households where it isn't always given. It could also be a way for her to try to maintain some semblance of a relationship with her parents, i.e. an olive branch, especially if things are strained due to political differences. Also, if her parents will contribute more money this way, she could be looking forward to a dream wedding that needs extra funds. When my aunt got married, her husband just had a simple conversation with my grandfather. More of like a, I am planning on asking your daughter to marry me, and I wanted to let you know, man to man, kinda thing. Maybe this would be more of a middle ground for you. TLDR, totally on your side. I think it's stupid to ask, but I understand it might be an emotionally important thing for her, so I would probably do it in one fashion or another. Comment 2. The historical context of the tradition itself sucks big time, but modern day, it's more of a, I'd like your blessing, kind of conversation. Which is really sweet. Here, I actually think that OP isn't an but he definitely sucks a little bit because his future wife wanted him to approach her dad about it. My BAL took the conversation in the direction of, I'm in love with your daughter and the life we've built, and I want to marry her. I'd really like your blessing in becoming a member of this family. That angle made for a really, really sweet moment in which my dad got to tell my BAL that he's beyond proud to call him his son. He even included all of us siblings. It was an incredibly small moment that meant the entire world to all of us, and now we have a new brother/son/family member. I think that this could have been that kind of moment for OP, and he let it slip past him because making a stand against the tradition was more important, which is really sad. It would have been a small compromise that would have made his future wife and FIL very happy. So I just think he kinda sucks for failing to see that.